Yeah, a lot of people wanted to talk about the pay-per-view numbers when it came to this fight. I didn't want to get involved in that because it was a dope fight, and I was just caught up with the fight. I didn't care about all that. That's like pound for pound talk. You want to have people talking crap and getting in their feelings and stuff like that about money that they ain't even putting in their pocket. So when it comes to stuff like that, I really don't care. I really care about my entertainment factor. I really only deal with what deals with me as a boxing fan. Money really doesn't affect me and none of that, so I don't really care what people make and stuff like that. But when it comes to what they did, the pay-per-view gate, whether it's 650 or 700,000 or whatever and whatnot, some people talking like this is not good, and in all actually, it is good. Those are good numbers. Are they the numbers that people felt that this fight should have put up? No, but it's still good. But you got a lot of variables right here that people not even thinking about. First of all, they did not get this fight a proper rollout. Keep in mind, these are not bad numbers. Okay? So listen all the way through. Number one, they didn't give it a proper rollout. I think they told you about this fight in the next 2 months this fight was going down. They really didn't give this fight time to bloom and grow and, let people know about it. We all know that. And we've all said from Jump Street that Crawford's the only one that looks like he's promoting this fight and look like he's into the fight. Errol Spence did a little bit next to nothing, and he wasn't entertaining. And speaking of being entertainment, they took the best things off of the floor. The best things about the fight. A fight is like, what a fight is like? What selling a fight is like to the public? Through the TV screen and computer screen. It's like making a trailer for a movie. You got to give them a sense of what's going on, what's the plot, what's the scenario, who's the hero, who's the villain, and what's at stake. That's how you sell it. They took all that off the floor. They didn't want to talk about what delayed the fight so long. Horrible mistake. They didn't keep the $1 million bet, and they were trying to be, in a way, too respectful in a situation that caused them to be more animated. It's the art to selling a fight. And you don't got to be a clown to sell the fight. You don't got to be a clown to sell the fight. This is an area that both Spence and Terrence Crawford is lacking in. Terrence Crawford is better in this area if he would sit and put himself in front of a camera more and people could naturally see who and what he is. You will get more Terrence Bud Crawford, but since Terrence Bud Crawford don't do that, you don't know. But Terrence Bud Crawford, naturally who he is very entertaining, but you don't get a lot of time with him. Errol Spence don't talk, you don't get a lot of time with him. So the public don't got a feel for these guys. They got a feel for Crawford now, but they don't got a feel for these guys. And PBC didn't promote the fight the way that they should. This fight was supposed to be way bigger, which leads me to my ending comment. That's really what it's all about at the end of the day. What PBC didn't do and why wouldn't they do it? Because at the end of the day, man, I don't even really think you're even getting the real numbers on this fight. I think this fight actually did better than what's being reported. And it's being held back by PBC. I'm going to tell you why. Everything is all about setting an example, not upsetting the status quo and the way things go. Okay? I'm going to say this again. For the same reasons the most independent rappers end up getting taken out of the game and stuff like that, is really not because they wow any more than any other artist. It's the independent part that can't be idolized. They can't be duplicated. So we have to promote the people who's going to sign the contract slaves. Promote the contract slaves, but do not promote the free people or the free thinkers or the people that do for themselves. Nipsey Hussle was all money in. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with this. If this was truly a blowout success and they really was telling you the numbers as they really is, you would understand to get this fight made, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence had to go outside of boxing to get this fight made. Meaning he had to go outside Bob Arum. Errol Spence had to go outside Al Heyman, and they can't let you know that you could be successful this way, and they don't want it to be successful this way. That's why I say the Canelo Charlo fight was actually a big sign to Errol Spence, saying, see, you should have stayed put. Now we're going to give it to your boy. See, they don't want it to be a success because the way it was going. See, if they're not included, they're not going to portray this as a success because it was done outside them and without them. And as you know, PBC and stuff like this, they didn't want to give you this fight. So what did they look like this fight being a huge success, knowing that this is a fight that they didn't want to give you? And you turn around and see the numbers, say, man, look at them numbers right there. What the hell was wrong with PBC? Why didn't they want to give us this fight? It was an obvious success. That'll start more people to think, more people to want to take the independent route, more people to want to rush to go fight the best instead of their promoters and stuff trying to hold them back. They can't have that example right there. So that's why they promoted it as less as they could. The numbers are probably not what they are. Like I said, they probably still made about 75, 80 million? You know what I'm saying? Back end included. I think that's about right. So how could that ever be bad business? You know what I'm saying? Them AJ numbers. Truthfully. So how could that ever be bad business? But they can't put that example out there that what they did, being independent, striking on their own, Crawford being a free agent, Errol Spence getting a new management, they can't show you that this is the way to go. Or that it's successful. Or stuff like that. So that's why it's always going to be downplayed. That's why they didn't promote it like they did. And Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford didn't help themselves by not giving the fight fans some meat to bite on. But even then, even with this fight being rushed, even with low promotion, and even with people not even knowing who they really was like that, this fight still did well. And that's what you need to look at. Now imagine if you put the proper things in front of this fight, what it would really do. And that's how you really supposed to look at that. And that's how this right here was a colossal success. That's why I didn't want to talk about the numbers, because I recognize what it really was and what's really going on. And people always gonna criticize the numbers that come out of there anyway, and they're dying to hear some low numbers from PBC. So in a way, they're using what works against them to work for them in this situation when it comes to Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence by downplaying their situation. And I firmly believe that. Because one thing is I know, corporations, that I'm gonna put it like this, the world don't like Dame Dashes. The world don't like them. You know what I'm saying? The world don't like the Young Dolphs. The world don't like the Nipsey Hussle. The world don't like the independent man that wants to stand on his own, who don't want to buy into the corporation. They want to be and build their own corporation. They want to be a power force all in themselves. They don't want that. They want you to be workers, not bosses, not entrepreneurs, not people running your own ship. They want you to bow down. For the same reason, I don't want to get in too heavy, but you know what the pandemic was about. It was about knocking out the middleman, the independent guy, the entrepreneur guy, the guy who, unless you was in bed with a big corporation, you wasn't going to survive. So a lot of businesses crashed during this time. That's the whole point. You get it, or maybe I'm losing you. Or, probably getting too deep too quick. Anyways, that's my thoughts on this. Leave thoughts in the comment section. Like, subscribe.